I want to start with a number, just a single percentage that I found, well, pretty staggering when I was reading through the material for today.
Right.
80%. According to the data we have, a well-planned day with clear communication prevents 80% of site accidents.
80%. It's a massive number. It's almost, it's hard to believe until you really dig into how these accidents actually happen.
Exactly. And I think for most of us, definitely for me, when I picture safety on a construction site, my brain goes to the gear.
Mm-hmm.
I picture the hard hat, the neon vest, steel-toed boots, maybe some caution tape fluttering around, the tangible stuff.
With the hardware. That's the traditional view. I think
Yeah.
safety is something you wear or something you go out and buy at a supply store.
But the source material we're deep diving into today, it just flips that idea completely on its head. It suggests the most effective safety tool, well, it isn't something you wear at all.
Yeah.
It's something you do. It's logistics. It's conversation. It's all that invisible work that happens before anyone even picks up a wrench.
Precisely. We're looking at a very specific training program. It's titled Precision Planning and Safety Communication for Electromechanical Projects.
Right.
This is the actual playbook used by the ABM Project Group. And while that sounds incredibly specific, and it is, the psychology behind it is just fascinating for anyone interested in how systems work.
I'm glad you mentioned the audience because I want to set the stakes here. We aren't talking about fixing a leaky faucet.
No, not at all.
When we say electromechanical projects, what are we really dealing with?
We're talking about the nervous system and the circulatory system of a building. Site engineers, electricians, mechanics, supervisors.
Mm-hmm.
These are the teams installing massive HVAC units, complex plumbing, heavy-duty industrial cabling. You're dealing with live electricity, heavy loads, pressurized gases, and often at significant heights.
So high consequences.
Extremely high. The source material is very, very blunt about this. It says that in this line of work, a lack of planning doesn't just mean you run late.
Right, or go over budget.
Exactly. It explicitly links poor planning to rushed work and overlooked hazards.
Rushed work. That phrase really stuck with me. Is that feeling of being behind schedule, so you cut a corner.
That's it. When you rush, your field of vision narrows. You stop seeing the big picture. You only see the immediate task in front of you.
And in an environment with, 400 volts of electricity or a 2-ton chiller hanging over your head?
If you overlook a hazard because you're rushing, the result can be catastrophic.
So our mission today is to unpack the two main pillars of this program, the two things designed to stop that rushing before it even starts.
Right.
First, we have the Daily Site Activities Planner, which sounds a bit dry, I'll admit, but it's actually a lifeline. And second, the Team Communication System.
Think of it as the structure and the voice. You need the solid plan, and then you need the ability to talk about that plan. You can't have one without the other.
Let's jump into that first pillar then, the Daily Planner. The source makes a really bold claim right out of the gate. It calls planning a core safety tool.
Which is a huge shift in mindset for a lot of people in the industry. A huge shift.
It really is. I mean, usually we think of a schedule, a daily planner, we think productivity.
Efficiency.
Exactly. It's a tool to keep the boss happy, keep the client off your back.
And that's the common misconception. We silo operations and safety. Operations is about getting the job done.
Mm-hmm.
Safety is the department that nags you to put your glasses on.
Mm-hmm.
This program argues they're the same thing, fundamentally. If you don't plan the operation step by step, you're just inviting hazards in.
The text gives some really chilling examples of what happens when you don't plan. Things like live cables during panel installation.
Or uncoordinated hot work near flammable materials.
Let's break that one down, that hot work example. It paints such a clear picture of why planning is safety.
Absolutely. Hot work is usually welding, grinding, cutting metal. It creates sparks, heat. So imagine you have a welder. Let's call him Team A. He has a job to do. But because there's no central plan, Team B decides that right now is the perfect time to open a flammable gas line nearby.
Oh, wow.
Or maybe just stack up a bunch of cardboard 5 feet away.
And neither team has any idea the other is there until it's way too late.
Exactly. Team A is doing their job. Team B is doing theirs. Nobody is trying to be unsafe. But because they aren't coordinated on a timeline, you get an explosion.
And that's not a freak accident.
No, that's a scheduling error.
That is a powerful way to frame it. So how do we fix that? The source provides a template, the daily planner structure. I really want to walk through this because it's not just a to-do list.
Yeah, right.
It's almost like a storyboard for the day.
That's a great analogy. It forces the supervisor to visualize the movie of the day before the cameras start rolling.
Okay, let's look at the nuts and bolts. The source gives a sample log, a safe day. It starts at 8 a.m. We've got Team A, 3 electricians, their task, cable tray installation at the second floor.
Okay, stop right there. A standard productivity manager just writes, install trays. Checks the box when it's done. But this planner has a specific column for hazards and controls.
Right. It forces you to pause.
So, for cable trays on the second floor, the hazard is obvious. It's fall risk. You're working at height.
And the control listed isn't just be careful. I feel like be careful is the most useless safety instruction in history.
It's completely useless. Be careful is a wish, not a plan. The control here is specific. Use guardrails plus fall arrest systems.
And it also lists a working at height permit as a requirement. So why is writing that down at 8 a.m. so important? Why not just figure it out when they get there?
Because if you write fall arrest system on the sheet at 8 a.m., you have to go get the harnesses before you go up the ladder. If you don't plan it, you get up there, you realize you forgot it, and you think, it'll only take 5 minutes.
I'll just risk it. That's where the accident happens. The plan forces the preparation. Okay, moving down the timeline. 9.32, 11.00 a.m., we've got Team B, the mechanics. They're doing HVAC ducting and AHU placement.
And AHU, for anyone listening, is an air handling unit.
Right, the lungs of the building.
Correct. Big metal boxes, fans, filters, coils. They're incredibly heavy and usually really awkward to move.
So the hazard here changes completely. It's not falling anymore.
No, now the hazard is manual handling. We're talking back injuries, crushed fingers, drop loads.
And the planner lists the control as use mechanical aids and requires a lifting plan.
That lifting plan is the critical insight. A lifting plan means you've calculated the weight of the object, say it's 200 kilos, and you've verified that your equipment, your chain block, your forklift is actually rated for that weight.
It prevents that hero mentality you sometimes see.
Exactly. You see it all the time. 3 or 4 guys around a heavy unit saying, on 3, 1, 2, 3, lift. You're not just risking a dropped box, you're risking a career-ending spinal injury.
So the planner says no.
No. We need a mechanical aid. We need a forklift. And most importantly, we need to arrange for that forklift before 9:30 a.m.
Otherwise, everyone's just standing around waiting, getting impatient, and that's when someone says, just grab a corner.
Precisely. Rushed work is unsafe work.
Now we get to the 11 a.m. slot. This is the one that actually made me a little nervous just reading it. Supervisor plus 2 electricians. Activity. Electrical panel testing.
This is the high-stakes zone. This is where the invisible killer lives. The hazard is shock arc flash.
Can we just take a second to explain arc flash? I think people know what an electric shock is, but arc flash, it sounds like something out of science fiction.
It is terrifyingly real. An arc flash is, it's basically an electrical explosion. It happens when electricity jumps or arcs through the air from one conductor to another.
It's not just a spark.
No, not at all. It creates a plasma ball that can reach 35,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
35,000 degrees.
That is hotter than the surface of the sun. It vaporizes copper wiring instantly. It creates a pressure wave that can throw a grown man across a room. It's not just ouch.
It's often fatal.
Or life-altering. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so knowing that, the controls in the planner take on a whole new weight. It lists strictly low hoard, lockout, tag-out insulated tools, and arc flash PPE.
And OSOR is the absolute Bible of electrical safety.
Yeah.
It means you physically turn off the power, you put a padlock on the switch, and you keep the key in your pocket.
So nobody can just walk by and accidentally flip the switch while you're working.
Exactly. And listing it in the planner, it assigns responsibility. Says supervisor plus 2 electricians. It makes it crystal clear who is holding that key. There is no ambiguity. Ambiguity gets people killed.
There's one more item in this planner that I thought was really insightful. In the afternoon slot, it simply says coordination with civil team. And the hazard listed is coordination failure.
This addresses the silo effect. On a big project, you've got the electromechanical guys, the MEP team. Then the civil guys pouring concrete. Then the interior guys. They're often different companies, different uniforms.
All trying to occupy the same physical space.
Right. If the civil team is planning to pour a concrete floor at 2 p.m., and the electricians are planning to run cables under that floor at 2:30 p.m.
You have a disaster.
You have wasted materials, shouting matches, and people rushing to fix the mistake. Or, as the text puts it, different teams literally crashing into each other.
And this little line item in the plan prevents that.
It's about sequencing. You have to lay the conduit before you pull the cable.
Yeah.
If you do it out of order, you get what the source calls the who was supposed to do that error.
And I imagine on a job site, that question is usually asked while filling out an accident report.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah.
The planner aims to eliminate that question before it ever needs to be asked.
Which leads us perfectly into the second pillar, the communication system. Because, you can have this beautiful color-coded plan.
But paper doesn't save lives. People do.
The source actually quotes a few chilling examples of what poor communication sounds like after an accident. Things like, I thought you isolated the power.
Or, I didn't know you were working overhead. I thought you did it. That assumption is just deadly.
And the training program identifies silence as a root cause, so they provide a toolkit to break that silence.
Yes, a very practical one.
Let's run through it. First tool, the daily morning huddle. Now, I've been in plenty of corporate morning meetings that should have been an email. How is this different?
Oh, this has to be different. It's 5 to 10 minutes. Stand up. It is not a lecture from the boss. It's a synchronization.
A sync up.
Exactly. It's everyone circling up to share their plans. It's where Team A looks Team B in the eye and says, we're dropping cables from the ceiling in Zone 4, so stay out of Zone 4. It clears up the fog of war.
Next up, hand signals. Seems almost rudimentary, but the source really emphasizes it.
It's crucial. Construction sites are loud. You have generators, jackhammers, trucks backing up. You literally cannot hear someone screaming, stop, 5 feet away.
So you need a visual language.
You need standardized signals. A wave can't mean hello to one person and hoist up to the crane operator. That's how you drop a load on someone. Everyone has to speak the same visual language. No confusion.
Then there are the digital tools, WhatsApp groups or radios.
Right. This is for agility. Plans change. The planner we made at 8 a.m. might be obsolete by 10 a.m. if it starts raining.
You can't wait for the next morning huddle.
No. You need to blast out a message. Power isolation in progress, do not enter. It creates a digital paper trail. Instant awareness.
But the tool that really stood out to me, and I think this is the most culturally significant one, is stop work authority.
This is the hardest one to implement, but maybe the most important.
Stop work authority means that anyone from the most junior helper to the senior foreman has the right and, well, the obligation to stop work if they see something unsafe.
Think about the psychology of that. You're a 20-year-old apprentice. You see a 50-year-old foreman working without a harness.
Do you have the guts to say something?
That's incredibly difficult. In that kind of hierarchy, you keep your head down. You do what you're told.
Right.
That's why this training is so heavy on this point. It tries to break that hierarchy. It says, your eyes are valuable. If you see a fraying cable, you stop the job. It empowers every single person to be a safety officer.
And finally, the cycle closes with the end-of-day review.
Which is just 5 minutes. It's the debrief. What went well? What went wrong? Did the plan work? If it didn't, we adjust it for tomorrow.
So it's continuous improvement.
Exactly. It's not just a set of static rules.
So we have the theory, plan the day, talk to the team. But the source includes a practical exercise to really ground this, which I love.
The chiller scenario.
Right. The prompt is simple. Tomorrow we install a 500-kilogram chiller on the roof.
Simple prompt, but a very complex execution.
So let's play this out. We're the team leads. We have this half-ton beast. It needs to go on the roof. How do we apply the principles?
First, the daily planner. Logistics. 500 kilograms. You are not carrying that up the stairs.
Definitely not. So hazard number 1 is dropping load or crane failure.
Correct. So the control in the planner isn't just call a crane. It's lifting plan required and crane inspection. We need to know the crane's capacity, the boom reach, the ground stability, all of it.
And the permits, working at height.
Right, but then comes the communication piece. This is where it gets dynamic. We're putting it on the roof. So what's under the roof?
Probably people, offices, desks. The client might be down there.
Exactly. You can't have people sitting at their desks while you're swinging half ton of steel over their heads. If a strap breaks, that chiller goes right through the roof.
So the communication plan has to include clearing the zone below the lift.
Yes. You have to coordinate with building management. You have to physically cordon off the area downstairs. That's part of the safety plan, even though it's not happening on the roof.
And on the roof itself. How do we talk to the crane operator?
You establish who gives the signal. This is the banksman.
The banksman.
The signalman. And it can only be one person. If I'm shouting left and you're shouting down, the crane operator gets confused. A confused crane operator is a deadly weapon.
So you agree on that one voice in the plan?
In the planner, yes.
The goal of this exercise, the source says, is ownership. It's getting the teams to plan the day themselves, not just being told what to do.
And that is the absolute key to all of this.
Yeah.
When you write the plan yourself, you're more likely to follow it. If the boss hands you a sheet, it's just instructions. If you write the sheet, it's a commitment.
It shifts the mindset from compliance to responsibility.
I have to do this.
Mhm.
Becomes, I said I would do this. It's a huge difference.
It stops safety from being something that's done to you and makes it something you do.
Precisely.
So bringing it all together, the source wraps up with key safety takeaways. If you, listening, remember nothing else from this, what are the bullet points?
Number 1, plan the next day's activities the evening before.
Why the evening before? Why not over coffee in the morning?
Because in the morning, the chaos has started. The phone's ringing, trucks are arriving. You need to plan when you have a clear head, when you can see the sequence without all that distraction.
Makes sense. Second takeaway.
Communicate changes immediately. No assumptions. If the plan shifts, everyone needs to know. I thought he knew is never an excuse.
And the third one, which I really liked, the power of I will statements.
Yes, I will check LTO before starting. I will wear my harness. It personalizes the protocol. It's not passive. It's an active promise you make.
The source also suggests using a shared digital board or a site logbook for the daily planner so it's visible.
Transparency is key. If the plan is hidden in the manager's pocket, it's useless. If it's on a big whiteboard at the site entrance, everyone can see, oh, Team B is doing hot work at 2 p.m., I should stay away. It democratizes the information.
And finally, they suggest tracking effectiveness. See if incidents actually go down over the next month.
Which brings us right back to that opening statistic. If you do this, if you plan the work and you work the plan, you are targeting that 80% reduction. It's measurable. You can see the graph go down.
It's amazing how something as simple as a checklist and a 5-minute conversation can literally save lives.
It really is. It just strips away the chaos. Construction sites are chaotic by nature. Entropy is always trying to take over. This system imposes order, and in a dangerous environment, order is safety.
As we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with a thought. We talked about stop work authority, that rule that says anyone can pause the work if they see a hazard.
The ultimate empowerment.
It makes me wonder, if a simple pause on a construction site can save a life, where else in our professional lives are we failing to use that, even if we're not working with high voltage cables? Where are we rushing past warning signs? Where are we failing to say stop to a bad strategy or a burnt out team because we feel like we don't have the authority?
That is a powerful question. We rush into execution mode without doing the planning mode in every industry. And that's where mistakes happen, whether it's a broken pipe or a broken product launch.
Maybe we all need a little more stop work authority in our own calendars. Take a breath, make the plan, then do the work. Thank you for listening to this deep dive. Stay safe, plan smart, and communicate clearly.
See you next time.